got a short period of time, and I appreciate the notes that you brought. I know that sometimes these programs you get into a conversation and you get a little bit off topic, and that's usually my fault because it's a squirrel. Again, thank you for coming on the show. I know there's a lot going on, especially next week, and we're going to be talking about a few of those things, and we're also going to be talking about the new memorial down over by Revilla. And before we get started, I would personally like to thank everyone in connection with the Alcalde's office for making this town so beautiful. I've been here for almost 4 years, and I've seen consistently a lot of work that's being done to make it look really, really nice. The flower pots, lining the road, that cornucopia of flowers, the two of them come. That thing is awesome. I was watching them build that. Man, that's a lot of work.
That's right, Al. Thank you for having me over here today. I'm happy to be here, and hello to everyone that's listening today, this program. Yes, it's a lot of work that we're doing at the Alcaldía, thanks to all the workers and also the volunteers that help us in different ways. So there's a lot of projects that we still have in mind. So you will see them in the last years that we have for work.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm here today to talk about the next events that we're gonna have, because as you said, there's a lot of that we can talk about of our work at the municipio. But we can start with the next events, right?
Yeah, I know November is really, really busy.
Yeah, it's a really
month,
busy, with all the holidays and everything. We already celebrated 3rd and 4th, 5th of November, everything. So I'm gonna talk about the coming events.
Sure.
Okay, first, this Sunday we're preparing a running race allusive to the bicentennial, starting at 7 a.m. We'll have 5K and 10K races. If you want to join us, you can text for inscription at the following number, 69801590. 69801590. You can be one of the winners of cash prizes. Yeah, so we invite you to participate. For next Friday, we will be having a typical gala with folkloric presentations with our groups from all the province. This will be in front of the municipio in downtown, starting at 6 p.m. Also, on November 27th, we'll have the unveiling of the monument allusive to the bicentennial, located by the square next to Revilla Pharmacy. We will celebrate it with more cultural and artistic presentations and fireworks. This event will be starting at 6 p.m. And in the most important day, on November 28th, we have scheduled a civic act at 8 a.m. in commemoration of 200 years of the independence of Panama from Spain.
Nice.
Followed by a folkloric parade by the main streets of downtown. At 10 a.m., you can enjoy of traditional dances from a Nabe group. Remember that Nabe Bugle is one of the biggest indigenous cultures in Panama, with a high presence in our province, Chiriquí. And the same day, at 3 p.m., we will have a horse ride around the main streets of downtown. And finishing this important day in our republic, you can visit El Buen Pastor High School, located next to Super Barú, to enjoy a presentation of the polyphonic choir Viva Voz.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why we have prepared what we have prepared for November.
Wow.
For those last days. So
it's all in that last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Starting this Sunday, the running race.
Now, can I ask you about the running race?
Sure.
Obviously, I don't run. If you see me running, someone's chasing me. Okay. See, it's a 5K and a 10K, and where does everyone meet for that? Is it you got a designated area?
Yes, the point will be at Plaza Los Senderos.
Okay.
Yeah, starting at around 6:50 in the morning. And starting I think the first one is the 5K, and we have different categories by age.
Oh, okay.
And different prices according to those categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that race? Is the course through town, or is it to go up into the mountains?
Yeah, it goes like the one that we had for the foundation of the district on April. The route goes to Palo Alto and comes down to the center of the town.
That's a nice run, especially the downhill part.
Yeah, you
Right.
you can see like an easy path, but it has a little difficult.
And are you expecting a good turnout like last time?
Yeah, we have more than 300 inscriptions right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
It's a lot. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, when you have these types of events, there's people from the Alcalde's office that are taking pictures and videos. We're gonna have those too.
Yeah, sure. We have our or maybe a personnel that prepares for the photos, social media, like to transmit on live or everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we are set up.
Because it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, even if you don't or you can't, participate.
Maybe you can go to support someone. You know, it's
Right,
going on the race.
Yeah. And are there going to be areas for spectators?
Well, it's along the road that
So just wherever,
you can park
yeah,
if you want to,
watch,
just to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's really good to have things like this.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people here. I know there's a lot of us older people who probably can't or maybe shouldn't, participate, but there's been an influx of a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
Especially over the last, 6 to 8 months. I've noticed a lot of young families and a lot of people riding their bikes, and all that. So this gives that demographic an opportunity to get involved and to do something.
And here in Boquete, there's I think like 2 groups that they meet to run on weekends.
Yeah.
And they are participating as well. So, and other groups, other running groups, are coming from different parts of the province.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them. I see when I go down to David. Usually I see the bikes.
Yeah.
A lot.
But there's also
bicycles.
people are running.
But I see groups of people, and I always wondered, is this an organization or is it just a bunch of friends? And I had found out that there are groups here.
Yeah, there are.
That do that, and that's great. It's one more thing, to get involved with. And like I said, when I got here, a lot of the activities that were available were geared towards older, because it's a retirement community for a lot of us foreigners. It's really good though to see something for
Yeah, and this is for all ages, like I mentioned.
Yeah, cool.
It's cool.
The holidays that are coming up, I know the 28th is the 200th. What are the other holidays that are coming up next week? And do you have any information on what they mean, how they are significant?
Oh, you mean like in Panama?
Yeah.
Well, in November, the last one will be the Independence Day. Yeah, because we already celebrate the 3. That was the separation of Panama from Colombia.
Yeah.
And the other day that was of the símbolos patrios, like for the flag and everything.
Right. Yeah.
And the 5th of November, it was also the cry for the separation.
The cry for the separation. Yeah. That's kind of unique.
Yeah.
That, and I've been to several countries around the world, and I've been to not participating but observing their celebrations from oppression from other nations. And Panama's the only one that I've experienced to where there's a national holiday for the call.
Yeah.
You
haven't seen that on other
No,
countries.
I've never seen that anywhere before. And I think, in my opinion, that's not quite but almost as important.
Yeah.
To acknowledge than the actual day of independence.
Yeah.
To me it kind of signifies we've had enough. We're done. And this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, and the people came out and everything.
Yeah.
Showed it.
Yeah, that's I think it's amazing that Panama does that.
Yeah.
Is there, and this is probably a little bit off topic, but I've had a few people ask me, and I figure since I got you here, in December there's usually a Christmas parade. And I know this is out, and I know that Mensa has a lot of regulations and a lot of requirements, and they change a lot frequently. Is there any information that you might have? Are we going to have our Christmas parade?
Yeah, if you want to, I can mention what we have for December. I have it here, and we are preparing other stuff that I can tell you other day. But for now, in other events and activities, on December 4th and 5th, we are preparing the first flower growers fair of Chiriquí.
Nice.
From the greenhouse to your garden.
Oh.
Local producers will be offering their different types of flowers, so we want to invite you to visit them and contribute with the locals. With this activity and the other fairs that we have had in the past months, our goal is to support the local ladies and other entrepreneurs to reborn economically after the pandemic.
Yes.
And also, we want to invite you to our Christmas parade on December 18th, started at 6 p.m. And remember that all the mentioned activities are in accordance with the Ministry of Health, MINSA, to prevent the COVID-19.
Yeah.
So we have our Christmas parade on December 18th.
Yeah, well, obviously we missed it last year.
Yeah.
And that's...
We missed a lot.
I know we did. But I have to say, though, the work that MINSA has put into trying to keep us safe has really paid off.
Yeah.
I've been doing the show all through the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I've done the show, and while we were in the midst of it, I would always read the figures. This is what the world is doing, and this is how the world is, and here's Panama. And we've always been a step ahead. Yeah. We've always had lower RT numbers. We've always had lower daily infection rates and whatnot. And even though this is my adopted country, it gives me a feeling of pride. Yeah. Because I know that people complain. Nobody likes wearing the masks. No one really likes doing any of this. Mm-hmm. But it was effective and it works.
And also, I've heard that 80% of the population is already vaccinated. Yes. So that's great news.
It is. It's fantastic.
And I think that has to be that for the national other activities is a requirement. That you are vaccinated if you want to assist. Yeah. So I think that people can miss it, so they go and they get the shot.
Yeah, and especially this time of the year here. With all the events and the parade and the flowers and everything where people are going to gather together, I think if Panama didn't take the actions they did, we wouldn't have this. Yeah. And it's because of what our country did here that we're able to have all these events and everything.
Yeah, and actually, I want to say that in January, the fair is... It's happening.
Oh, the flower?
Yeah.
The
coffee and flowers fair it's happening, it will be, I think the date is starting at January 13th to the 23rd.
So it's 10 days.
Yes, 10 days of day.
I love going to that.
Yeah.
There's so much talent here, with the way they do their arrangement. I don't know how they do any of that.
Yeah.
But when you walk in and you see, the giant, sculptures made of flowers and the hundreds of little flower pots that make designs and stuff, it's nice to look at. It's nice to look at things in town here, whether they be permanent fixtures like all the flower pots and everything, or the events. That are coming up that we've gotten used to here that we missed last year, obviously. It gives us a sense of, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be all right.
And actually, the usual at the flower and coffee fair is that once a fair is finished, they start working for the next year.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah, so this time they will make it at a record time because right now they just started working a few months ago when they got the permission from MINSA. Yeah. So it's less than the usual. They had to work for the fair, but I know they will make it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And also that's why now that we're talking about the fairgrounds, that's why we were announcing the new place for our recycle center. Oh. Because right now we're using the fairgrounds, but they needed to, like I said, to make all the work for next year, so we have to move, and we will announce in shortly when are we going to have our next recycling.
Yeah. bring a lot of stuff down there, and a lot of my friends do, and that's very important, to us, to the community of foreigners.
Yeah.
That would really, really, all we want to do is make sure that our community stays not only looking good, but environmentally friendly.
Yeah, and the foreign people that lives here, they are the one that helps us the most with bringing their recycled materials. Yeah, so we're trying to promote also for the locals, from people from here, the importance of recycling. Yes, we receive paper, boxes, glass, almost everything. And today is Friday, so we are there right now at the fairgrounds. You can go if you're listening and you have any recycling materials at your home. You can go and drop them off. We're there until 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
And every time I get a lot of cardboard. It's mostly cardboard.
Yeah.
When you go there, if you're listening, they will help you unload from your car.
Yes.
If you're a little older, or if you're not able to lift heavy things, there's usually one or two people there that if you open the back of your SUV, they'll get everything out for you, which is nice. It's nice to do.
And also, if you have free time on Fridays, you can go and help us, because we need volunteers. There's a lot of material that we're receiving. Also because we are collecting the material from the businesses in the downtown, so there's a lot, mostly of boxes, like you said, and we need help. So
there's a good opportunity for you if you want to volunteer.
Yeah, if you want to volunteer, you can go there and help us.
Yeah. Right. I did want to ask you a couple of things about the parade, the Christmas parade.
Sure.
And then I also want to get back to a couple of things. I've had people ask me about the 200th, the anniversary, the separation from
Spain.
From Spain, and my history of Panama is not as good as someone who's been here. So I want to ask you a little bit about that. But a couple of people have asked me about the parade because of the social distancing requirements and all that. Are there still going to be the spectator areas along the main road? Yes,
and we'll have more than usual of the bioseguridad comité of the bioseguridad group than we usually have, because we need all workers to be like how you say like
watching.
They're watching that people wear their masks, the distance and everything.
Good.
But it will be permitted that you can watch the parade in any of the road.
Yeah, and I will give those out there listening a little piece of advice: take a taxi or take a bus.
Yes.
The first year I was here, we drove down. I lived downtown, but we were living in Alto, about 2-3 kilometers up. We decided it would be a good idea to drive. And we had to park 10 blocks away in an area that I wasn't really sure if I was allowed to park there. And then all the walking. The next year, me and my friends just got on a bus, these little mini buses. It drops you off right by Baru, one of those side streets. I think it's either Baru or where the sandwich shop is. And you get out and you're right there. And you can stand, you can walk, you can visit, and then when you want to leave, when you go home, they're waiting there.
Yes.
I know that there was a staging area for all the buses, so it already gets crowded enough down there. So do yourself a favor and use the taxis, use the buses.
Yes, or walk if you want.
Or walk, if you're close enough. Yeah, sure, walk. Absolutely.
Or come early to the downtown. Yeah.
It's one of the things I love about living downtown.
Yeah.
Is that when these events happen, I just walk. I'm literally 10 blocks from.
Yeah, I think everything is walking distance, right?
Yeah. So but obviously the district's huge.
Yeah.
But take a bus, take a taxi.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that question.
It will be starting at 6 p.m. so you can come early if you want.
Yeah, and there are going to be buses running and taxis running.
Yeah.
I know sometimes later at night, it's it's a little more difficult to get, but when these events happen, taxi drivers, they work late and the buses usually run a couple of extra runs. So.
Yes, so you will have transportation.
Yeah. Plus, if you're down there and you're drinking, you don't want to drive.
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
know, just get in a bus, and when it stops, they'll just push you out.
Exactly.
The independence from Spain. I know that there's the independence from Colombia and the independence from Spain. Does one of those have more significance for Panamanians than others? One more important? Does one have a more meaning than the other one, or are they looked at as two equally?
Yeah, I think Panamanians look at the two dates equally.
Equally?
Yeah, because one means that we separated from the other nation that wants us like to be a whole republic. So we separated, but we are still before we was part of Spain. So those two dates are equally important for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there aren't very many nations that have two independence days.
Yes.
Now, where I'm from, in Sicily, there's several. There are several. But overall, this is kind of unique, for that. I know that when Panama was part of, and this I found to be very interesting. When Panama was part of Colombia, it wasn't considered part of Central America.
It was from the south.
It was from South America.
Yes.
And now, ever since, obviously, it's been a while. I've spoken to several my friends that were my local Panamanian friends, who are kind of on the fence, whether or not, is it Central America, is it South America? And I guess geographically, if you look on a map,
it's Central.
It's Central America, but I've met a lot of, mainly older people, that I've met here that are maybe in their 70s or 80s. They're kind of being stubborn about it. They're like, no, we're South America. For me, America is America.
Yeah,
right.
There's
22 countries in America. So, when Panama and Colombia split away from Spain, was that, to your knowledge, was that something that was a diplomatic split, or was there a conflict? Was there a war?
I think there was a conflict. Yes, I can remember right now the name that how they named the confrontation, but there was one, and after that it came the separation. Yeah.
So it's interesting. To know about the history. I mean, if you're on vacation, that's one thing. You come down, you visit, maybe you go into Panama City, you look at the canal, then you go home.
Yeah.
But if you're a resident here, a foreigner, living here as an expatriate, I think it's a really good idea to get to know the history of the country you're living in. There's a lot of and not just festivals. I mean, obviously we all love the festivals and the parades and the cabalgatas and all that. But there's a lot of history here that maybe doesn't get the attention that a parade gives or a festival gives. So I try to keep track of, especially from the mayor's office, usually posts things on there. And I make a little note of it, and then when I talk to my family in the States, I say, hey, what this week is, what this month is, and then they'll ask me questions, and then I've got to do some research on it. But it really is a good idea, I think, if you live here and you're not from here, to learn about the history of this country.
Yeah, and also I think that's very curious. Also, like the creation of the isthmus itself.
Yes.
It says that the geographically or historically says that we were a group of islands and we merged as one and came up from the ocean.
Yeah, see, that stuff fascinates me.
Yeah.
Okay, because I go.
That's why we have like all biodiversity and everything, and we connecting. And if the Pangea theory and everything that we were part from Africa, Europe, they were all together. It's awesome. I think it's amazing.
It's to me.
And I think it was possible that theory.
There's a lot of evidence for that.
Yeah.
When you look at the supercontinent, the Pangea, and if you look at the shape of the Caribbean, how it fits. It fits to the, I guess, the northwestern part of Africa.
Yeah.
And then the southwestern part, Australia fits in there, and everything all comes together. And you see these graphic representations, you know, on TV, right, or on videos of how they came apart. And when you look at the flora that's here, when you look at the fauna, the animals, and when you look at things that are native to here, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was watching a special on YouTube about that there are species here in this country that the only other place they're found is in northwestern Africa.
Oh wow!
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously now that they've evolved a little bit differently, but basically they're the same.
Yeah, there are a lot of data that matches.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, since that, I think Panama it's very special.
Well, it absolutely is. I mean, you've got it's unique in the way that it has developed geographically.
Yeah.
When you look at the highlands, and then you look at the Azuero Peninsula, and then you go up towards the Darien.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's three completely separate. I mean, it's all obviously, you know, it's all the same country, but there are so many unique differences between the different areas of Panama that you can literally start off, you know, say maybe we're I guess it's what Paso Canoas.
Paso Canoas, yes.
Paso Canoas, and go all the way over to the Darien, and you'll see so many different things that you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I had gotten an opportunity because someone said, "Hey, you know, if you go to the top of the mountain there, you can see the Pacific and the Atlantic." I'm like,
yeah. And you can go in the same day. You can visit the Pacific side, and then on the afternoon you can go and visit the Atlantic
side. Yeah. There's you know, and it's when I look at everything that Panama has to offer, then I go a little more I guess detailed to this area here. Someone had told me before I moved here when I was doing some research, they said, you know that Boquete has 13 different microclimates.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, and if you're not from here and you don't know, you know, you might compare it to, say, where your passport country is. Okay, well, yeah, it's hot at the beach and it's cooler in the mountains. You know, if you're on the plains, maybe you'll get a little more wind. But then you come here, in this area, in this part of Cherokee, and within, you drive 2-3 kilometers, and it's not just a difference in temperature.
Yeah.
It's a difference in what grows, what kind of wildlife there are, and the further you go, and then come back, you can see so many different things just in the space of an afternoon.
And maybe it may be raining in one part, and you drive a few kilometers, and the other part is sunny.
Yeah, you can see that sometimes coming up from the Vid. You can see where it's raining. You know, okay, I'm going by the Texaco station, and then it starts pouring out, and by the time you get to maybe Ivans, it's bright and sunny again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the Bajareki.
Yeah, Bajareki, yes.
Which I actually enjoy that. I do. It's cool.
How do you describe like Bajareki in English? Like a mist?
A mist. Yeah. There are places in the United States out west, specifically in Arizona, in the state of Arizona, in the city of Phoenix. Phoenix is it's basically a desert. Okay. It's very, very hot. I mean, you'll have days in a row where it's well over 100 degrees. And outside at the bus stations, they have misters, right? So say the bus station is 30 feet long. They run, remember when you go up towards Volcan, when you're going up that road there, Mensa used to have that PVC where it just, well, they have those over there. And also at the entrance to shopping centers. That's the only thing I could think of comparing it to, because it's just a light, you're not getting rained on.
And you don't get wet or anything.
You don't get wet. And I try to explain, you know, I have a friend of mine who lives in Scottsdale, and I was talking to him, I don't know, about a year ago, trying to explain the Bajareki, and I'm like, well, just imagine the entire county you live in, province you live in, is a big bus stop in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even people from the city, they have visited Boquete.
Yeah.
They don't know what Bajareque means or what it is.
Yeah, I don't even know what the translation for that is.
I think there's no. I just describe it as like a mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really it's neat. I think it's really cool. It's just one of those things that make it unique. Mm-hmm. Also waters all the plants and flowers that been putting around town.
Yeah.
Someone did ask me, are those I guess you'd call them big flower pots that are lining when you're going into town? They're on the left side,
okay,
right past where you would turn to go down to La Cuchilla. First of all, I think those look great. They remind me of like Greek, flower pots. I've noticed that in front of them there are what I thought were lights.
Yeah, they're. Oh, you mean in front of the?
In front of the planters.
Yes,
Are those
lights.
Are they working?
I think they're working. Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember being working. Yeah, that's. You take all of this, if I had never been here before, if I came here on say on a vacation to visit somebody, and at night, when I come home at night, if I'm south of here, I come around that bend, the second turn, right after the Sefati, and the whole valley is laid out. And my wife always says it looks like a Christmas tree.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And as you're driving into town, even at night, you can. I'm surprised I didn't remember the lights working there, but I noticed things. I always look around to see see what's new, see what's happening, and it just seems like every month or two there's something new. They started with the big flower pots on my side of the road. Is there anything planned for more? I guess you would call it beautification. For the main road down there. Is any the big Christmas things going to be put up? Still doing that?
I think we'll have to do it just only in the park.
Only in the park.
In the park, yeah, because it takes a lot of work to do something like that on the road.
Yeah.
And to maintain and everything, so we'll do it on the park, I think.
Okay. Now the park. Are you talking about the new park, the new one, or the town square?
The town square.
The town square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that a couple of years ago. Man, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
There was a tunnel of lights.
It was a gift box.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was
beautiful.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's nice to it's nice to live in a, I guess you'd call it a tourist town, because you get to enjoy the touristy things, right? The events, the parades, and all that.
Yeah.
But you also have the quiet.
Yeah.
Right. When the tourists aren't here, and I know that's important for us. There's a lot of revenue that comes in for that, but I also like the peaceful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can feel it once you enter to the district.
Yeah.
And also I think it's very beautiful for the families.
Yeah.
Because in the last years, like, all the activities were only for adults.
Right.
And
yeah.
it involves drinking and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's why we are promoting different activities as the cultural fairs that we're trying to do all months.
Yeah.
We already been on the 6 corregimientos of the district.
Okay.
The last one was it's called that part Jaramillo, but it was on the Panamonte Bridge.
Okay.
That part belongs to Jaramillo, so we already been on the 6 corregimientos of the district.
So the other side of the Panama Bridge, that belongs to Jaramillo?
Belongs, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was further up.
Yeah, some people call it Bajo Boquete still, but I think like historically and like all the division, it belongs to Jaramillo.
So basically that side of the river.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah, I noticed that the mayor's office, the Alcalde's office, has been doing a lot of repairs on the roads.
Yeah.
And that's made a lot of people really happy.
Yeah.
It's now when I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see the posts with the trucks and I'm like, oh, because I was just on that road last week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of undertaking to get all that done.
Yeah, it's a lot, and we do that with the help of the MOP, that it's the Ministry of Public Roads and everything. And we had a problem a few months because the plant where all the like the material that they used to it was damaged, so we couldn't get the material, and all people was, I need my road to
but
be
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
If you can't get the material, you have to wait. I think a lot of people don't understand is that whatever the material is, whether it's to repair a road or to fix a sidewalk or what have you, or plant trees even, it's dependent on the supply.
Yes.
And if the supply's not there,
because if you're not directly the solution, we are the channel. So we have to make letters and everything for the other institutions to help us. That's we also with the Ministry of I think the translation will be of homes, I don't know,
housing probably.
Housing, yes. We addressed some letters for develop a residential that is like people can acquire like very cheap for those that they need for healing the locals. So we are trying different projects with different institutions so they can help us and we can help the people from here.
Well, I've read recently to where I'm pretty sure it was the Alcalde's office, although it might have just been the Alcalde himself. But I remember reading a story about a family that
in Palmira.
Yeah. Do you have any insight on that? Do you have any?
Yeah, I think in that house lives like 6 people, and it was a tiny house, barely a house actually, because it was made from only zinc leaves or wood like scrap or something. And the water came in and everything. So we did all the work with all our masculine workers, even if they are not from the workers that works in the garden or construction and everything. Also the administrative ones. They went one day just to bring the material because the truck only can get to a certain part, and from that they have to go up and carry everything. And well, we did it, and the family is very happy. And we know there's a lot of families that needs our help, but we do what we can, and we try to help everyone.
Well, that's a large undertaking. That's difficult. I mean, there's so much need, and there's only so many resources to go around. But when you see that being done, when you see someone who's obviously they need a new home, there's the climate here in one sense is wonderful, but it can be devastating. We've all seen the landslides, and we've seen the rivers overflow and the creeks overflow,
and the cold at night,
and
everything.
And things getting washed out. And when you look at it, it just almost seems that it's impossible. But then you have, hey, you know what? We can't help everybody now, but we can help you, and we can help you, and we can help you. And I was watching very closely all the work that your office had done when the area got hit with the backside of that hurricane that came through. There was a lot of damage here. And it seemed that everyone who was working for the city, for the district, all kind of came together. There was no arguing, oh, this belongs to my district, this belongs to that district.
We also went to Hualaca. That's another district, and we helped. I think that was November last year. And we helped other families that were the road in that part was like
it was washed out. I saw that.
And and the cars couldn't get in, so they had to walk a lot. There was a commission from all of my coworkers that went there and bring the help.
Yeah.
Yes, and also to Cerro Punta that was pretty damaged, more than us.
Yeah.
So we also helped them.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of like the Red Cross.
Yeah.
My friend Dr. Shannon is with the Red Cross here, and I had them on the show because.
Is he the director of the?
I think it was, yeah. Shannon she's a physician here in town. She works at the clinic over there, but she's also with the Red Cross.
She's a volunteer of Red Cross.
And I had them on the show because I noticed that there was a lot of confusion as to, you know, well, we want to help, right? You know, we have clothes to donate, we have food,
blankets,
you know, we have blankets. Where do we bring them? And the city, the Boquete, coordinated with the Red Cross, and they had drop-off points, and everything went really, really smooth. Once everyone started working together, it's okay, here's where you take this, here's where you take that, and this is when we're going to go here. And you know, geographically, it's not easy to get to Cerro Punta from here. I mean, you can't just drive through. Well, I think there's a new road open now, but it only goes to Puerto Rios. But just the coordinated effort from everybody that even people that didn't work for, you know, for maybe they worked in different departments of the city. They just dropped everything.
Everybody joined
and came together, and it was a beautiful thing to see because. You don't see that often. You know, sometimes, you know, a lot of areas, maybe a lot of different places, kind of say, well, I'm going to help my people here, but I'm not going to help, you know, the people across town.
Yeah.
And everybody in this district, from the municipal to private, you know, citizens to expats, just banded together, and I sat there and I'm watching all this stuff on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm like, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it was really, really good to see, and it's good to see that the Alcaldia office and Joshua himself is so hands-on, involved in everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just you know, there's the office. Don't go in. Don't talk. You know, it's. The way that y'all get involved in this community.
And talking about that, we also have a program that's called Alcalde in tu comunidad, Alcalde in your community. He visits, I think it was on Tuesdays, he visits different parts of the corregimientos. So they was talking directly with the people, because we know sometimes it's difficult for people, even if they're far or near, to come down to the office in the municipio. So he did it, and he went to the points, to the parts. So he talked to the people and heard all the troubles or permissions or everything they need. And also we help them with abono for the plants and everything, different help that we can make for all the people, for all the community. So that's another project that the Alcaldía has.
Well, you know, that's when you get involved in the community, especially if there are areas in the United States where, you know, the borders of the community are not as big as the district here, as Boquete is.
Okay.
And even then, most of the times that doesn't happen. You don't get city officials going out and visiting.
And here you only people is only used to see them every 5 years.
Yeah.
So
when it's time to campaign.
Yeah. Right? So that's why the mayor goes to the community frequently, so they can be in touch with the people and hear what they need.
Well, that also gives the people a better sense of, you know, I'm being represented.
Exactly.
You know, he didn't just come by to get my vote.
Exactly.
Right? You know, he came by because when you feel like your elected officials are concerned about you, and when you feel that they care about your well-being, it's good for the whole community.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people who are, you know, not happy with anything. You know, but if I'm going around town and I'm meeting people and I'm talking to people and I hear, hey, you know what, I had this problem, my community had this problem, and, you know, we were writing letters for years and nothing, and now this new guy, you know, he showed up and he asked, how can I help you?
Yeah.
You know, what can we do? What do you need? And we told him, and the next thing you know, our problem is solved.
Yeah.
You know, that is action. I know that I don't care where you are in this world, a lot of the times people don't trust politicians because they make promises.
Yeah.
And then they don't do anything.
Yes.
And this is a case where things are being done.
Yeah.
And everybody sees it. It isn't just the locals, you know, the expat community, all of us, we all see, because of social media, that he's involved. Your office is involved. Everyone in your office is involved in getting things done. We need help on this road. The road gets fixed. You know, we need help over here. This gets done. We're having a problem with this, and it gets solved.
And plus, with the pandemic, it was all crazy.
Oh yeah.
Last year, we were working like weekly, delivering food bags, sanitary and everything to prevent the COVID-19 and everything. So it's been like an extra work that nobody had planned.
Well,
so
there's also short supply on stuff. You know, I remember hearing about, well, we haven't gotten our food in 2 months.
Yeah.
And either your office or the alcalde himself would post, hey, we don't have it. You know, when we get it, you get it. We're not, holding things, right?
Yeah.
That offered an explanation, because
Yeah.
it could be very frustrating not knowing what's going on. But your office has always been very good at on social media, particularly the Facebook pages,
Yeah.
explaining this is why this is happening. Here's why this is delayed. And I know that getting those hygiene supplies and getting those food bags up into the mountains is very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is.
And it's good to see those pictures. We really appreciate those pictures.
And also, last year we were also asking for donations, so we can buy that food and deliver it.
Yeah.
So all the people that helped us, or sponsors and everything, they get an inform and everything, a picture, so you can see that what you gave
is being used.
It was delivered to the ones that they need.
And the pictures that really affected me the most in a positive way is where you go up where you can't drive, where you can't get a truck up there.
Yeah.
And here's 2 or 3 pickup trucks at the bottom of the hill, and people from your office, volunteers, Joshua himself, carrying bags up that hill.
And also many times with his wife.
Yeah.
She is very involved in all our projects.
She showed up
especially
at
the Boquete Ciudad Jardín.
Yeah.
She is like the mind of all the flowers and everything that you see.
Yeah. She's the brains behind all of that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I had a chance to briefly meet her. I'm with the Rotary Club,
Uh-huh.
and she was at our annual event. We have an event every year. Yeah,
I think the vice mayor went there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's also present in every activity. Yeah.
It's it's really important to, when you live in a small community, to know that your representatives, the people that you have chosen, right, really care about not just the population, but the town itself.
Yeah.
Making sure that these problems are addressed. And I just wanted to say, for me personally, thank you, because this is my home.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see it being cared for. And it's nice to see people who care in charge.
Yeah, so everyone that's listening, if you have any situation that you want to share or you need help, you can go to the mayor's office. And he has also like attention dates for the community. It's on Fridays. He is right now at the office talking with all the people that's visiting him. So if you have any situation, you can go there and we'll be happy to help you.
Now we've got about 4 minutes, Bolivar? 4 minutos?
4 minutes.
Let's go over these dates real quick
Sure.
before we close the show out.
Yeah, you want me to repeat all the information? Sure, okay. For this Sunday, we have the running race. starting at 7 a.m. If you want to participate, we have 5K and 10K races and cash prizes. So if you want to subscribe, you have to text this number 69801590 69801590 for inscription. Okay, for the next Friday, we'll have a typical gala with folkloric presentations with groups from all the province. This will be in front of the municipio in downtown, started at 6 p.m. On November 19, we'll have the unveiling of the monument allusive to the bicentennial, located by the square next to Revilla Pharmacy. This will be starting at 7 p.m. And the most important day, November 28th, we have scheduled as a civic act at 8 a.m. in commemoration of 200 years of the independence of Panama from Spain, followed by a folkloric parade in the main streets of downtown. At 10 a.m., you can enjoy dances from Nave group that remember that Nave Bugle is one of the biggest indigenous cultures in Panama with a high presence in our province, Chiriquí. The same day, at 3 p.m., we'll have a horse ride around the main street of downtown, and finishing this important day in our republic, you can visit El Buen Pastor High School, located next to Super Baru, to enjoy a presentation of the polyphonic choir Viva Voz. And well, also in December, for the 4th and 5th, we are preparing the first flower growers fair of Chiriquí, from the greenhouse to your garden. Local producers will be offering their different types of flowers, so we want to invite you to visit them and contribute with the locals. With this activity and the other fairs that we have in the past months, our goal is to support the local ladies and entrepreneurs to rebound economically after the pandemic. And last but not least, we also want to invite you to our Christmas parade on December 18th at 6 p.m. Remember that all mentioned activities are accordance with the Ministry of Health, MINSA, to prevent the COVID-19. And we have more activities in December that you can be pending of social media, so we can share and you can know.